This is the second full replay commentary for my Chen guide, and it's from my last match. There are probably better matches to show a different side of Chen that I've played, but I didn't save the replay for the best ones, so this one is alright. This one's just recent. The other game was actually just the game before that. So, uh, these aren't necessarily cherry picked, to show things. They're just reliable Chen games. So this game in particular is different. You can see here it's more of a meta game. It's a better illustration of how Chen fits into the meta game, I think. You've got your classic Lich, you've got your Necro, you've got your Veno, and you've got two heroes that Chen typically struggles against. Pudge is an absolute pain in all scenarios, really. To get to push into, he's actually not a very good hero against Chen's creeps. If your micro is good and your positioning is good, you can shit on a Pudge, but he can pick on your teammates. And PL is a hero that you don't necessarily have answers for yourself. So yeah, our team as well doesn't have classic supports, and if you consistently want to pick Chen, you won't have a guy that wants to support every game either. So I think I contribute quite a lot in supporting, and I play a much more support-oriented game. But I also split push quite a lot in this game, which ends up into some interesting stats. So lowest damage, huge healing, which is really good against the Veno and Necro, and 6k building damage. I think the other game I got 9,000 building damage in a very physical damage early game. Not necessarily early game, but physical damage based build. And this is more of a sustained build. So this is a game that you look at the kill scores, it's in our favor, but a lot of that is just happening at the end very rapidly. So we have an okay early game. I roam around. I wanted this game to sit down in the off lane as opposed to more roaming or jungling time. But the enemy hits a bit of a better timing than us. And we have to wrestle it back. So, this is a game where Chen has that perception as being an early game hero, and if you don't smash that early game, you're done for. This is a game to show you that is not true, and that is not true against these meta heroes. So, let's get into it. Now in the draft for this game, I think this is like a second or third pick. I picked third, actually. I picked third. Again, I think for various reasons, it's Chen's best position in the draft. Alright. So this is a game, again, I want to be sitting in the off lane, so I buy some regen, I buy an obs and a sentry, and I buy a smoke. Now our offlaner is... I do some shit talking this game, there's a lot of shit talking. And that's right from the start. They picked Lich Necro Veno first. I opened up a salvo, and they responded, and we all had a bit of fun. So I've got this obs and sentry and things. Slow it right down for the offlane. But I want to start with this. I want to start in mid to try to get this career, because I want Storm to have a good time this game. Now this is an awkward career snipe. I still think it's worth. Now I have no idea why this Pudge is mid. He should be top lane. I have no idea why he's there. I know why Lich is there to sacrifice a creep. But that Lich movement delayed, if you watch here, pushing me back into the little safe corner, and then I see Pudge and I hesitate. Do I want to go for this? And I have to run around the trees here. I still get the career, but the Necro gets the salve, so it's not ideal. And I also feed first blood. I want to go get deny myself the creeps, but that's just not happening. Just not happening. So I'd still say worth. Both supports, you know, not in lanes. I can give this Night Stalker some free XP, and I still get the career. So yeah. So from this point, my tempo as Chen has been delayed a little bit. Ideally, you know, I'd be most of the way to level 2 after clearing a camp or two. So going down to bot lane is harder, and the Night Stalker does need my help to really do well this game. We should have turned to kill that Lich for sure, but Night Stalker I think just wanted to return to lane for some reason. He didn't want to use his mana. I don't know why. He's got an Orb of Venom. That was a definite kill. But anyway, so I've got not yet level 2, but I've got a big creep, but a strong creep. So I want to start actively zoning these supports. I see this Pudge. He's got nothing on me. You know, he's got nothing on this creep. He can't do shit. You know, he doesn't have boots as well, so I wanted to get that rune myself, but he was going to get there first, so I've denied it. And now I'm trying to do the same to this Lich. Or this PL. Lich is out of position. Get the Hadouken and get a kill. Again, that's a good example of coming from behind. If I came from over here, the Lich might get away. If I came from, you know, down the lane, the Liches might get away. If I come from here, he doesn't see me, and it's an easy kill. Now here, I wanna show you this. Here, my creep doesn't have mana. I don't want to wait around another 30 seconds for him to get mana. So I'm getting some cheap harass, and then I'm persuading this new creep. Now the PL, I want to show you this explicitly, does not get XP from that. He does not gain any XP because the creep doesn't give a bounty when he dies like that. Nobody is regarded as killing him, so the XP doesn't get shared. So you can see I'm safe with the positioning of my hero, and we're just trying to use the creep aggressively. Night Stalker commits a little bit too far, but they still have to get through my creep and my hero. Now Pudge has a stout shield, so he's more tanky than normal, but not tanky enough. And that's a lot of pressure being put out. You can see top lane, because we're putting so much pressure down here, this Kunkka and CK are free to run at this Venno. You know, this Venno is completely isolated, completely on his own. And the same with mid. We're giving a 3v2 in our favor for the other side. In our favor for the other half of the map. You know, it's a 3 versus 3. Oh, sorry, a 2 versus 3 for us, and a 3 versus 2 for us here. And that's the benefit, the big benefit of running Chen in the offlane. Now, ideally, at 3 minutes, I could have level. Actually, I do. I have 3. You'll get more consistent levels if you're controlling runes. You know, if you can control this bounty rune and this bounty rune and impact this lane, your levels as Chen are going to get really good. They're really going to be good. So at this point, 3 minutes in or 4 minutes in, halfway to level 4, 2 creeps, and I can smoke. I want to get this. I want to go for mid. So does Pudge, and he's actually gonna get a nice kill on the Storm, and that's well played from him. So mid is no longer an option for me, and this is where this is a good example of showing maybe higher tempo heroes like Pudge or Spirit Breaker don't have to wait around for creeps. I have to play around my creeps and runes as Chen more. So this is where you just gotta micro a little bit better. I'm not microing my hero. I needed to penitence the Lich. I thought I'd get away with not penitence the Lich, but he was quick enough to respond, and he has a windlass. He doesn't have boots, but he has a windlass at 335. He can comfortably outrun my creeps at 320. So at this point, I'm just trying to harass the PL, stop him getting free last hits, but inadvertently feeding the feeding the red tomato. So this is drawn Pudge and Lich back down bot, or at least should. PL is a hero that you can get on top of. He's a very momentum based hero. You can split push to get it back up, but it's best to get on top of him early. Unfortunately, Pudge, what I need to be doing is warding for mid, or at least warding for the Pudge, and that's something that I don't do. I don't quite remember where I put that ward. Oh, I put my ward down here actually, and that's the biggest disadvantage. You want to see right here, the biggest disadvantage of committing a ward for the courier is that this ward can't protect mid for Pudge, and it can't protect lane for Pudge. It'd be great to have a ward here, or a ward, you know, here to see the Pudge moving up and forth, and that would have protected the Storm. And that's the trade-off. Now what I'm trying to do here is harass the PL as much as I can, and keep up farm by farming this camp, and using creeps to nuke. So we get a kill on the Lich, and we get a lot of harass onto the PL. Now this is part of the game where my micro gets really bad. I'm trying to, I think I didn't set my key bindings right when I got my creeps, so that messes me up quite a lot. So I'm trying to find the PL and shockwave him, and trying to harass with Nightstalk on the right target. That's a really value shockwave. And now Kunkka comes to the play. So this is, you know, you can see just how much pressure you put out as Chen with a strong offlane partner. And this is Nightstalker's night time. This is when he's good to go. And he's got good items for that. Boots, Orb of Venom, Magic Stick. A really solid combination. So you can see the difference between safe laners. PL at 28 and 11, and CK at 45 and 18. And you can see how much better I could have played as well. Could have killed the Lich a few more times, could have secured mid better with better wards. Now this is the micro, this is where I needed to hit the shockwave on one of these two targets. And instead I simply walk in and die. But because my creeps are separate, get a kill on the Pudge. I think we get this, yeah, we get this PL as well, and that's a fine trade. That's an okay trade. Yeah, even more of an okay trade. So this is where I think we're in a 1k lead. It's kind of nice. Show the net worth now. So mid we've lost, and that's a huge problem for a momentum-based Storm here. But top lane we've done alright. The Soul Ring CK I like that. And we've managed to take tower bot actually, 7 minutes take tower. I want to go back because I looked away when the important things were happening. So a lot of this time, look at this catapult. At 6 minutes, yep, at 6 minutes, the catapult wave has come down. This is why pushing with the catapult is so good. So good. This catapult is just so good, boys. Alright, so we're going to fast forward to fighting. Just look at the catapult and what it's doing. With the creeps running around. Look at that tower drop. Look at that tower drop. Alright, we get a triple now. And I've got this hill troll, so I get 2 extra creeps. Tower's gone. Tower's gone. 7 minutes in. We weren't even winning that well until the Kunkka showed up. But you know, now this PL is screwed, right? He's got no tower, he's got nothing but a soul ring. You know, he's got poor man's brown boot soul ring, you know. He's got nothing. But unfortunately, as Storm does, have nothing too. So I'm at 7-2, 17-5. I don't know how I got 5 denies actually. That's weird. Um, and very similar. Wait, what? Oh, that was a Nutstalker. So he's 2-2-2, 17-5. He's in an okay position. He could use some more levels. And I should be looking at what my hero is doing actively actually. So respawn, go rebuild army. 4-2-2, 12-0. Not really farming much, just putting out a lot of pressure. You know, and ideally when you go to the off lane as 2 with Chen, your 3v2 wins both these lanes. Unfortunately, we only won top, and Venno can kind of farm anyway, or at least catch up farm, and we lost mid because of the blood rotations. So now come back, get a nice kill on the push. This I think we do, I'm not sure. This might be one of those denials actually. This storm gets it. And then we get a kill on the Necro. Yeah, Necro's not that OP, boys. You just gotta get him at a good time. Alright. So. You know, PL's out of combat, going to build the army. Now at 8 minutes 30, I've got level 5. And that's a good timing to go. It's not a great timing, but it's an okay timing if you're putting out the right amount of pressure. What I should be doing is going to look to that next stage, get these nice wards out so we can take mid tower, or push bot tower, or simply take over the jungle. Now they've got an okay ward here, and to see me come in, and they know that I've got 2 wards. So as Chen, I should be looking to take this mid tower, take this top tower, or to go take this tower, and I want to take this tower. I want to draw them away from top, so that Storm can go farm jungle safely. But team is quite uncoordinated and disconnected in the next 15 or 10 minutes. Sorry, in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So we struggle. This is our time that we struggle. I'm trying to push in bot lane and secure some farm and levels for myself there, which has forced the PL to go back into the jungle. And he's not a very good jungler here at this stage. He's okay with the Soul Ring treads. It's not where he wants to be. What I want to do is split the map at this stage as much as possible. Create as much space for this storm spook. Here the Venno has rotated down, which should mean that we were able to do some things top. I get lanced, which means he can catch up with Gale, so I just hit him, and I lose both creeps. But that's a 2 hero rotation. That should mean that we crush this fight. Unfortunately we don't. We end up losing Storm, we lose CK, and there's a lot of these fights that we take that we just have no business taking. We have no business forcing it. CK is halfway or less to his armlet. There's really just phase boots on our offlaner. Our Storm, the brown boots, doesn't want to fight. Our Kunkia is not level 7. He's actually the same level almost as the CK. Top lane got a bit funky. And yeah, we should not be taking these engagements. They're pretty awkward for us. I also don't have level 6, which means I can't help with the Storm, which is quite unfortunate. Oh, he died because of Soul Ring, that's what. Yeah, he's Soul Ringed. Soul Ring brought himself down 1. So I've TP'd back home because I had the Venno and the Fenlancer chasing, and now we're kind of, our short lead is gone from some bad fights. This is also a game, Venno is like Zeus, one of those heroes that's not gonna stop you completely, but he's gonna be a real pain to push in. It just shits out magic damage, and his Arc Lightning and Plague Wards are very good against creeps. So this game is actually a 5. The other game was 4.4, so average. This game is like 5.1. I'm 4.6. this game, so I'm one of the lowest rated players in the team compared to highest before. I think Storm was the 5.5 or so, and I think Pudge is 5k and Phantom Lancer is 5k, 5.5. So it's a higher quality match, and funnily enough, that results in some just weird, really unfavourable mid-skirmishes that we just have no business taking. I'll replay this again, but just committing for a Pudge is very little problem here. To reiterate, there's no objectives behind this. I don't really have a strong armor. I'm only level 6, I've only got 2 creeps. So our ability to push is very light into Necro and into Venom. So we lose supports here. We lose Kunkka as the +5 and we lose me. And Storm's finding it very difficult to get kills. He just has no farm. And our offlaner just has no farm despite being able to take tower. So that is the problem. That's the trap that we've fallen into, is just fighting when we have no business fighting. I talk about MMR differences a lot. In Australia, the MMR differences are quite wide. Because of the small pool, the distribution is, in any one game, the distribution is typically a little bit wider than it would be in a high populated server. I forgot where I was going. Yeah, I think the relevant point was, even when mistakes like that, I think I was very despondent at this point because we were playing some brain dead Dota, and this year again we're just at this point we can't kill the fucking Necro. At this point we can't kill Necro. You know, we have no items, so we're taking some real dumb stuff. I think we even had a ward there and we didn't see him coming. Yeah, so in any MMR distribution, in any level of play, there's gonna be bad plays, there's gonna be silly plays. You just gotta do what you've gotta do and focus on improving and doing well yourself. And it's just reinforced here. So for this game, I'm approaching a different build. Last game, we had a better, or personally I had a better time of it. This game, I'm a far more of the classic Chen support style, and I'm doing a different build to sustain against our opponents. Last game, it was about enabling us to push, giving us something that we didn't have before. Now I'm going to give us something that we didn't have before, and that is going to be the ability to sustain, the ability to heal, and actually sit there and fight, as opposed to take a couple of nukes and have to run away or get reaped. So DC here, I'll fast forward through here. And now I'm trying to set up some perimeter wards so that we can trade, farm, and get our Storm what he needs. 15 minutes, only Nulltail Treads, Soul Ring, only now Armlet, CK, only Headdress. So, all the same, you want to be pushing out, in situations like this, in making space, you want to be pushing out side lanes particularly as hard as you can, and mid lane as well, when it pushes up into you. Always better to push the lanes as hard as you can, you know, for a number of reasons. And this period in the game has really been perfect for PL. He had a hard lane, but he had space now to come back, just to farm jungle and come back, and get some really nice kills as well. So Kunkka, I want to see back how he died there. So I wondered that in game. He's just farming the Invis and Pudge. Okay, that makes sense. So Kunkka's doing the right thing here, but he just gets caught out by an Invis. You know, he's not to guess. You know, with the wars that we have, and the creep position where it is, not to guess this is happening. Although, you know, for sake of argument, he could suspect something's up because nobody's defending bot lane. But anyway, so I'm doing the right thing here. I'm seeing that top. I'm seeing nobody's defending bot. So I'm saying I should push mid, force them out of the jungle. force them to show so that we can, you know, put max pressure on lanes. You see here, Veno and Pudge, they just go on my creeps here. I'm not using my stun abilities in a very nice timing, but that's okay. So we get a nice kill on the Lich after the Veno overcommits on my creeps. This game, I use my creeps to do that, to push lanes and split the enemy a lot, and you'll see that the enemy pays for that in a number of times after they commit on my creeps. It makes them vulnerable, so when you play you should watch out for that. So I think this is a pretty bad timing to get my mech. It's a pretty slow timing. But already, because I've been actively pushing out lanes and doing as much as I can, I've pushed up the net worth chart. And I'm only able to actually, we'll go back here. We're only able to, to go on. Actually, I'll tell you what is happening here. So it's just the Necro actually took tower, which is pretty bad. Yeah, I want to point out, as Chen, I specifically didn't TP to this because Chen, your role isn't necessarily to punish out of position players. This is where having a Storm Spirit is the perfect complementary hero. As Chen, my role is to go push the other lanes where I was just mid, and to push the top lane as fast as I can. You see I'm using my creep nukes. And that's in combination with a hero like Storm Spirit, who can go and punish those out of position. So it's really about knowing your role in the team. We don't have any vision on their heroes right now. Show die vision, don't see anything except the Veno right now. So top lane pushing, I'm very, very safe with my hero, and that's so that I can test of faith them out and continue farming. So I've taken the tower, didn't get the last year unfortunately, and now Necro's trying to get my creeps, the bastard. And that's good. So Necro took bot tower, but I've made it a trade, a minute later. And that's what we wanted, that's what we tried to do. To get our heroes onto their timings, onto their items. So 20 minutes now, Storm Spirit has Bloodstone, which is good. These guys are pushing in bot, or at least they're fighting bot, and instead of TPing to join the fight, slow down here, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing here. I've seen that, even though I've got mech, even though I have mech, decided not to fight. It's because our heroes have taken a hit, they've used Gale, they've already got PL, which is fantastic, that's perfect. I've seen that the Necro has pushed top, he TP'd top, so his TP is still on cooldown, and then he's walked all the way here. That was a big thing. Necro isn't here on this fight all the time because he addressed top first. He addressed the push that I was doing top. Yeah. So the enemy team is here. They want to push this tower, right? They want to push this tower, but look what I'm doing. I'm saying, fuck that, I'm going to stay top. I'm going to stay top. These two creeps here, I've got really, really good creeps for pushing tower here. Two skeleton creeps, an attack speed aura, and the alpha wolf. It's actually perfect. Now my team is still going bot, and the enemy team is in a bit of disarray because they see what's happening top. They want to address top, and I've already taken the tower. They want to, their attention is split, which, helps my team a little bit. So we've taken the Lich out, and the Storm is able to get some Bloodstone charges and hopefully take the Storm Spirit out. Now I've thought to myself, I've done what I can do, it's time to back, the enemy's going to defend now. But I've seen that the Necro's dead, so fuck it, let's go for some more. The enemy can't TP onto the tier 2, so again, try to play a little safe. And this is just a small little percentage play. Hit the tower a little bit, 200 damage, it's not bad. It's not that great, it's a little something, it makes the next time easier. And that's a really good trade. So in that engagement, I've been able to contribute directly with the Hand of God, and I've been able to take this tier 2. And taking towers in this situation is really good for the Storm Spirit particularly, so that he can go and dive out of position heroes that wouldn't have been out of position before. Yeah, so you can see I've taken this tower, I've taken this tower as Chen, and I've taken this tower as Chen. 22 minutes, and the pushing as Chen, I've just done my role. This is my role in the team. To secure space, and it's working out well for the team. I'm securing them gold, I'm giving them opportunities to get kills, and I'm giving myself a lot of farm that wouldn't have happened. So this is a very different approach to last game, and it's completely because of the demands of this game. I wouldn't be able to do what I did last game. It just physically it wouldn't be possible, and the timing certainly wouldn't have matched up. So yeah, this is there's more downtime in this game. Last game was a lot more, logical. This to this to this to this to this, all about exerting max pressure. This is still that, but more about exerting pressure on creep waves than objectives per se. So I'm addressing top lane. Pudge is drawn to me top, which makes going on mid a little bit easier. CK's got 2 nice items now, he's pretty strong. Storm's got his items now, pretty strong. And only now that I TP, only now that I can't take an objective, and that I can contribute with mech, I couldn't contribute with Hand of God, did I TP to that fight. And even then I left the creeps top, even though you can see my micro isn't that great. My micro isn't that useful. And I think I Hand of God used Hand of God because I saw the CK had armlet on, and I wanted to just guarantee that nothing funny happened. It actually is completely unnecessary, but didn't want to take that risk. Now we got the creep wave pushing in top still, which is nice. And we've now turned the direction of this game around, which is really good. Yeah, so this is something here that you'll see with, I talk about Chen has reasonable map mobility, and that's because you can, there we go, you can push one lane with creeps. Sometimes I'm actually specifically not using, like, holding them there, so that, because I don't see other heroes. And the moment I do see a hero, he's gotten one of them. It's going Radiant, so it's quite hard. Gotten one of them, but look at the information that's given us. Necro has gone up to address this, and Kunkka with the Blink Dagger is looking for wards and initiation that our Storm can capitalize on. And look at that, 2 free kills, and where is their strongest hero? In a completely irrelevant spot, right? Now that my creeps are down bot, we can, this is actually quite sad for us. We want to immediately look for what objective we can take, and that is going to be either bot tower, which creep wave was a fair distance away, or just go straight for mid. And unfortunately, PL has hit a timing where he got Ags and Diffusal Blade, and he's a real pain in the ass to push into. As well as Lich just casually dropping ult, which is not ideal, not fun. So I think I missed micro creeps. I didn't use the troll net at the right time, and we don't get tower, but we force a lot of TPs, and I think that's enough for now. That's enough for now. So from all the gold that I've gotten, I've gone pipe this game, second item pipe, and now right now I'm in a position as a hero where I can contribute to team fights specifically, not just split pushing. Before, when I was split pushing here, I had a mech, and that was useful, but that's only 250 HP. That's not a make or break thing. Hand of God can do the same at 250 and 375 from a distance. But now that I've got the pipe, it's my teamfight contribution is much more. CK goes a Shadow Blade this game, which, shit man, he just 5.1k average Dota boys, 5.1k average Dota. Look what happens, man. It's, oh my god. Alright, yeah, anyway, oh, I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, right, contributing to a team fight. This pipe now means that I can contribute to a team fight a lot more. And that's good. Got the next set of wards, not looking for any item. This game, I'm waiting because I want this cloak aura, if I can find it. Yeah, this little cloak aura. It's 5% on heroes, which is pretty mediocre, but 20% for creeps, and that is super useful for creeps. Against the Zeus, it's much better than it is against a Veno or a PL. But you know, it's better than nothing. So you can see here, anytime you show that wolf, they're gonna chomp it. They're gonna chomp it. But I haven't taken my creeps away. Actually, we'll go back a little bit. Because I want to highlight what we're doing as a team here. I'm covering 2 lanes. I'm pushing in top lane, or trying to push in top lane, and it's forced 2 reactions. And that's allowed us, go back again, that's allowed us to invade their jungle with the smoke bot with additional vision. So that's easy kill on Lich, that's perfect. And we want this tower as a result. Now, as a hero, I can, from this point, after pushing in lane, and Necro's TPing now, so the lane can be easily pushed. From here, I can go mid with my hero, or I can go and join my team bot with my hero, which is what I want to do. And we actually get the PL as well, in a bit of a drawn out thing. I think we catch a glimpse somehow, and we just commit for it. And this is why I'm bringing my hero down instead of going mid, because I see that we can get the PL. And the enemy is also TP'd in Necro. I think we catch a glimpse of it. That's where the pings are. Storm knows that he's there. So my creeps are still top, and I should be more actively using them to create more pressure, but that's just what it is. So unfortunately, the creep wave for us is actually well back here. But we can still go mid. And this also is a really good opportunity to get down good wards. I wanna highlight the wards that I put down here. And these wards see me come in with 2 wards, so they know that something's gonna happen, or they know that I'm going to place them. So watch where I do. This is the max value ward, but it also gets dewarded because it's just too obvious. This ward, however, does not get dewarded. I go from behind trees. Kunkka draws aggro. They still don't see me. I'll show you fog here. I'll show you the fog. Kunkka gets seen. I've just placed the ward there, and they don't know about that ward. So that's a good ward, and that helps us secure this tower because we have vision of their movement. And almost, this is unfortunate because bait's in Kunkka and he dies. I'm too late on ult to save him, or mech, or pipe. But yeah, it could have gone the other way, and we still got punch anyway. So my creeps are actually, I want to go back because I'm showing you what my creeps are doing. I want to show you what my creeps have still been top. Creeps are still top, only 3. They're much weaker than they were last game, but they're still pressuring in top as much as they can because I don't think they're particularly useful here. They're gonna get cleaned up by the Radiance Necro and the Veno. Yeah, and the Lich has shown he just wants to drop ult to kill them anytime he can. So even though our heroes are forced to back because they're a bit out of mana and a bit low and they've got gold to spend, my creeps can get some easy damage on this tier 1 tower. So this chip damage that I've done it's already half health, it's more than that. I've seen the TP in, and I've TP'd them out. And that's 1,000 damage. 1,000 damage over the time just from my creeps doing any maximum pressure. Slow and steady max pressure. And that's another avenue as a Chen that you can get gold from. This is if you're playing exclusively support oriented, that's your only attitude is to support, you'll end up crippling yourself because you just don't farm. What's happening here right now, I'm not farming. I'm watching my teammates farm, and that doesn't help me, and me not having farm doesn't help them. So this is a real classic pub game because none of our heroes want to play the sacrificial 5. Our offlaner doesn't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The Kunker doesn't want to do that. He's got 65 CS, which is good. And this is all good. You don't like having a Lich, with 30 CS and one item. In the right draft, can be beneficial, but in most games, if you have low farm, it's probably because you're not taking the opportunities presented to you. And that's something I really want to push home as Chen. As Chen, if you're playing to his max efficiency and max ambition, then you're gonna find farm. So yeah, it's a bit of a. I've just tried to rebuild my army. I only had 2 creeps after I was pushing at the end of when I was pushing that tower. Our team is a bit of downtime while we waited for item purchases and things like that. That's a really cool play. I love when Kunkers are able to do that. Oh shit. Alright. What am I doing with my creeps here? Yeah, so I'm pushing in still lanes as aggressively as I can. Forcing, I don't see any heroes, nobody's defending bot, nobody's defending top. So I'm trying to push in mid, and they have a lot of creep damage, so I actually lose 3 creeps out of that, and that's not worth. Yeah, just say rude a lot of the times that happens. Yeah, so this is right there is a really good illustration of why I want Ags. For this game, for me to be continuing to be effective as the game goes on, I need Ags. These creeps are just too squishy. Even if I was to get level 20 and have the minimum creep health, that would be nice, but it's not really the same. The same innate tankiness that Ags creeps will have. They also, Ags creeps, not just higher HP on average, they've just got higher damage, they've got higher armor, I think. They've got they're more effective abilities, right? And abilities that are really good for sieging in particular. So yeah. This time we don't have great vision. We're only really 1 deep ward, so just trying to play around the team. And this is one of the last 2 outer towers, so both, actually all their towers right now have been quite low. They're taking chip damage. So again, look what happens here. I've chosen a side lane to go down, and the team with a Shadowblade CK and a Storm Spirit and a Kunker and a Night Stalker. These are heroes with really good ganking power, really good map pressure. Look at that Ags Night Stalker, look at that warding, just dead Veno. A CK running in with Shadowblade. Really good there. I think there was a cancelled TP from somebody. Cancelled TP from... Alright, never mind. But yeah, but look at what I'm doing. I'm down bot. The moment this Necro leaves to go help that, or go address that situation, I'm gonna go for it. So, he wants to be here, and that leaves opens the window for the ganking, and opens the window for Roche. And this is perfect. At this stage of the game, if we get an Aegis on Storm, that is just perfect. That completes that comeback, puts us right back in contention. It's a very even gold game, but if we get Aegis on Storm, we're already starting to wrestle map control. But I'll just show you here. Yeah, we're already starting to wrestle map control. We get that Aegis. We're in a really good spot. We can make plays. So PL1 Phantom thing, one Phantom Lance, and all my creep waves, all my creeps are dead. Um, so you can see the vulnerability these creeps have. I think I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to Ags now. So we'll fast forward a little bit. Actually, we'll go back 10 is what we're gonna do. So PL knows that I'm pushing in lanes as hard as he can, and it makes him overcommit. Storm's got this Aegis, he's fearless right now. You know, look at this PL, look how out of position and isolated he is compared to the rest of his team. Now that's a misplay from him, but it's a misplay because he's under pressure from my split pushing. You know, I talked about MMR differences and the basic point that individually you have to do what you can do. And this is, you know, me doing what I can do and the enemy team making a mistake. And, you know, it works out great because my high MMR player has capitalized on it. So, dead PL, this means free tower. Anytime you've got their strongest hero dead is when you want to exploit. So, this is 20 seconds out. He doesn't want to buy back. We can just go high ground. I've still got pipe, and I use that preactively. And I've got mech. And this is the first real team fight that we've had on our teams. We've also got We've also got boat buff, and we can just be fearless and just run at them. Now I've kept my creeps hitting this tower. The tower is super tanky because of, like last game, Ice Armor. But you see, you know, this is the game really swinging hard in our favor. So right now we can't go mid and take that tower because we don't have the tier 2. So we're kind of diving for the PL again. We've still got Aegis and Storm, and I think we use that for to just team wipe them. Unfortunately, that's not a good play for us because it means we're trading kills for objectives. We're trading getting kills for losing objectives. What we could have done is just go with all my creep army and Hand of God and still Aegis on Storm. We could have taken that top racks, and we don't because shit, no, we just wanted to kill people, and that's okay. It's not ideal, but it's okay. So now I don't have a creep army. I'm looking at Ags, and I have to rebuild. And we'll fast forward here a little bit, TP back for mana. I do have Ags now. And I've got 2 okay creeps. And what I want is probably that Thunderhide, or that Thunderhide, or that Dragon, Valerion. And this one, this is the one that I want. This is, like last game, this is the creep that I really want. And that is because of the Granite Aura passive. It's a scaling 15% bonus HP. So if you have 1000 HP, you will get 150 bonus HP if you're in the aura. 2000, you'll get an extra 300. And if you have 3000, you get an extra 450. If you have 4000, you get an extra 600. So it's pretty damn good, and the scaling is fantastic. So it's really good against, you know, the Veno, and against, you know, the Phantom Lance spam, and against the Necrophos. So right now we're pretty strong. We've got mech and pipe and Ags, and Storm's got Lincolns and Shivers. You know, we can just go in. You know, my creeps aren't. I'm not committing them into physical damage fight because that's not their role this game. They're aura creeps, unless they're going for towers. In fights, they're not really that physical damage. But what we've done there is, like, this is actually, I want to point out this right there, show you the difference, one of the differences in objective focus between last game with the 4.4 average and this game with the 5.5 average. So last game, the highest MMR players on the team are 4.8. This game, the highest MMR players are 5.5, and they are the heroes that will typically set the tone and set the objectives and set the goals. So right now, we go on this out of position Necro, force him to pop BKB. The Pudge is committed to helping him. He has to help him or he dies. So that means we get a free Pudge kill. The Veno also commits his ult. And what do? Do we go for more? Like last game? No. We back. We forced out a kill, we forced out a BKB, and a huge ult. So we back, we abuse Conquer. We've got a regen rune on Storm, which makes this, perfect. What we could do, if you didn't have that regen rune, what we'd do is use X on Storm, and I would send him back, and he'd go back to Fountain and come back. Or, a play that I really think is super crucial to Chen's and their cores late game is your core having Boots of Travel, which means in a situation like this, if Storm were to commit to a hero and then he's out of mana and he's got 4 seconds before he's dead, I send him back, he goes back to heal, and then he TPs back to finish the fight. It's like it's a lot like buying back on Spectre and Haunting in, and it's super effective, or buying back and Boots of Traveling in, but without buying back. So a little bit of a delay for healing, but that's the basic thing. So now we've forced out the cooldowns, we've got a good fighting formation. We're relying on our Initiator Conquer and Vision Hero to provide vision and initiation, and that's what we do. So there's a lot more poise in this, and there's a nice last hit, pure damage on to the Necro from Chen. There's a lot more deliberate. She's that fucking lich up. Yeah, there's a lot more deliberate coordination to this game than there was last game. A lot better team fighting. Unfortunately, we lose the CK. He just gets dragged in a bit, and this is where I'm deciding I want to go for objectives. These guys are keeping them busy, but they're not hitting buildings. The CK's dead, just hit buildings. My hero can go and contribute and mech and pipe and, nuke them, but my creeps need to finish that tower. And at this point, we've pretty much established an unlosable lead. We've completely taken over the game. Yeah. They don't actually have 2 buybacks, I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Oh, the Veno, yeah, the Veno had buyback. And the Pudge, yeah, okay, yeah, buyback. Oh, did they buy items? Alright, Pudge bought back. Yeah, I don't know. I wanna actually focus on that little. Yeah, there was in the draft. These guys, I flamed their meta picks, like, understandably cancer picks, and they came back flaming my Chen pick. Yes, one of the lines they used was, "How useless must you feel playing Chen?" And this is what I'm throwing back in his face. And we're having some fun, good spirit. This is the point I want to make. It's good spirited banter. But yeah. So right now, all we have to do is secure the victory. So go back, heal, wait for our big cooldowns. Ideally, get a pick off, whatever. Yeah. We'll show the game out to the end, and if I think of anything else important to cover, I'll say it. But I think that's everything. This is a good different game from last. Almost completely different builds, completely different style of play. Still a lot of roaming, but a lot more emphasis on. Last game it was emphasis on covering my safe lane and trying to go mid. This game it was trying to cripple the enemy safe lane and go mid as much as I could, which turned out to be very little. And here teams going in and crushing just because they're super strong. And again, slow it down so you actually watch it a little bit. But again, the creeps are just hitting tower, you know, and the dragons nuking creep wave, and all good things, all good things. So my golem almost does, but yeah. You know, this is in some ways this is a really cool draft for Chen, like my team's draft, because like last game, I'm the main source of push. There's a bit of a conception in when you want to pick Chen. A lot of people will think, well, shit, we all have to pick 5-man push heroes to deal with that, or to go with that. But that's not necessarily true. Chen is, at the end of the day, a support that wants to get a little bit of farm. And that's what's happened in both these games. The support aspect is, in this game, you know, more relevant because my teammates are simply better players and understand objectives and timings and team fighting a lot better. So that's something I think I'll talk about in the, or at least I reference in the guide. Yeah, so to finish the point, the supporting aspect is put your team in a position where they can beat the enemy team. It's as simple as that. And you do that in various ways. You know, a multitude of ways. So yeah. I think that's everything for this side of the Chen guard. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it, and cheers for watching.